Friday, April the 11th, 2025, and I'm down in Hampshire today doing a walk I haven't previously done, although I have been in the area many moons ago. Jane Austen territory nearby, and I'm about to undertake 10.5 miles approximately from this station to the next one, Whitchurch. This is another free walk, Saturday Walkers Club swcwalk53, and cracking day again today. Doing it on a Friday because of the better weather. Now got my new boots as well, so let's see how they operate over a longer distance, and all should be well. No rain currently for them to worry about though, thankfully. So yeah, it's about 11:45 at the moment. 2.5 hour journey from my home. So again, at the very perimeter of my capabilities, train time wise. And even then, as usual, on my line there were issues. Anyway, we're here on time, so let's crack on, see what awaits. I need to get some sandwiches first though. Didn't have time to pick them up. By all accounts, that building over there is the closed Overton mill. This is pretty much the station building at this station. Don't know what it was like in days of yore. No doubt Google will show us. Now right at this moment, I don't know what that bird is. Remains to be identified. Singing strongly outside the station. Yeah, right at the max of my range, hence the shaking. Well, interestingly, using the Bird Nerd app, it seems to think it's a nuthatch. I don't know, because I can't see it clearly at the moment. We'll identify later. Yeah, I do recognise this now. I remember approaching this station from the opposite direction. Now beside the River Test, headed for a place called Flashits. It being Easter holidays, so excuse the noise in the background. So that little section was on the Jane Austen trail. Private property of Flashits. And there's the old Chiff Chaff. Another week, another allotment. Passing St Mary's Church here. And as you can see there, the chalky soil, which is why we have the chalk streams down here. Test is a well-known one. There you get a better view of St Mary's. I'm not popping in there today. Tempers Fugit. Passing the village wreck on my left. GPX track continues up there, but I'm going down Bridge Street here to collect some lunch, all being well. Landing on the bridge, after which this road is named, you've got the crystal clear waters of the Tess, but they're not that crystal clear apparently. This walk today was partly inspired by watching Countryfowl last weekend, and they were looking at the watercress crops over at Alresford, which I've walked from before as well. So including the Hampshire chalk streams. So replenished, got my sarnies, co-op in the village, and if I hadn't come down there we wouldn't have spotted this little notice, for example. Overton Community Centre and Library. And this is the High Street, George Street actually. Red Lion, which is opposite Bridge Street. That doesn't look like a trout to me, being a grey colour. It's a big old beast anyway. Don't think it's a carp, they tend to live in lakes, don't they? Anyway, it could be a trout, but as I say, big old beast. So passing the old rectory, we turn left to rejoin the GPX track. Walking down this quiet lane towards Salvington Mill. Wonderful. It's actually quite hot now, coming up 1 o'clock, about 1.5 miles in. Got to be about 70 degrees. Got a test over there, but I've missed the old Salvington Mill somewhere. There is a footpath here. Not sure if you meant to take that. Let's have a look. Give it a go. Well, the answer was no, because that path goes up to Lordsfield Plantation, which is not where we want. So I'm back on the lane. Very pleasant thatch there. Quite a few around this area. So at Northington Farm here, we do a right up this drove, and there is a massive herd of cows on my right, as I noticed. Good old tractor driver there stopped and allowed me to pass, because obviously look at that cloud of dust. I'd have got absolutely coated. Anyway, fair play to him. Go, a monster herd of cattle. Friesians, I think. And the majority of them, interestingly, are all facing in the same direction. Views back towards Overton. As you can see, we're climbing a bit at the moment. Chaffinch in the background. Amongst others. God, I'm glad I haven't got to cross this field. Jesus, look at the udders on that. Well in need of milking. Over the rail line, goes to Salisbury, changed there for Exeter apparently. Maintained hedge here, broad at the base, triangular at the top. Very pleasant walking at the moment. Accompanied by a smell of rape on my right at the minute. Not unpleasant, and luckily I'm not affected by it, to my knowledge. I know some people get various issues, hay fever and what have you. One hare or rabbit less. I'd imagine a hare. Anyway, disappeared at breakfast time this morning, no doubt. Now joining a byway where we turn left, and contrary to that finger post, we're leaving Jack Mills Lane and joining an old track known as the Harrow Way, which you can Google for more info. Take a left here. Now here we have evidence of what I was briefly mentioning last week. The blossoms of the blackthorn, I believe, and the leaves of the hawthorn, with the hawthorn blossoming afterwards, if I've got that the right way round. Very pleasant section of walking this. The semi-grown leaves giving some respite from the overhead sun, and as you may have heard in the background, the old blackcaps are abundant again. Two harbingers, chiff-chaff and blackcap. I've yet to hear a whitethroat yet. Just starting to descend now. I'm at about 415 feet, so this must be the high point of the walk per the map anyway. Started at around 208 feet, so reasonable height to start with in the first place. Chalk and flint. So at this juncture, which is Ash Bed Plantation per the map, do a left. Crossing over the rail line again, and you can see in the distance there the bridge I crossed over earlier. Just done 4 mile, over 4 mile now. So the upcoming church in Freefolk is a good break for lunch. Interesting place for Overton's rugby club to be based, out in the middle of nowhere. Great tit in the background. I'm leaving the GPX track at this point to join this footpath here towards the church, overlooking the hamlet of Freefolk, interestingly named, and you can just see the church spire through the trees there. Pax intrantibus. Not quite sure what that means, something to do with peace. There is said church. St Mary the Virgin and St Nicholas, Laverstoke with Freefolk. So a relatively new refurbishment, God rest his soul. This side isn't so easy to read, interestingly, despite the refurbishment. Pretty busy road running through this hamlet, I can hear in the background. Got to contend with that shortly. One bench here, very near the Lich Gate, but I shall probably take that one up ahead, if not the storm porch. out of the sun. Well, this is another remote church that I can't get into, unfortunately. Door's locked. So, just coming up 2 o'clock, around 5 miles into the walk, so ideally located. Lunch is served. 2:30, lunch has been had, and an interesting one it was. Having a chat with a chap called Bradley. Reckons he works for the BBC. Putting the world to rights. Passing manor cottages. Very clear waters here. So I'm guessing this is St Nicholas's Church. So a better view of St Nicholas is here. 1707. So, leaving Freefolk behind me, the hamlet of, and of course I don't partake in the lunchtime pub stops, but if you wish to Google the Watership Down Inn, you'll get an idea of what's available. The Watership Down Inn, the recommended lunchtime stop. There you've got a herd of Galloways, which are sensibly behind an electric fence. Farmers split this field into half, so that they're on one half and the footpath runs through the middle. Okay, we've reached Beer Mill Bridge. And there's the old test again. Do a left here. Interesting, I wonder what that depicts. Cherry blossom princess, apparently. Doesn't look much like a princess to me. Hagakure with perfume. Hagakure is the Japanese for cherry blossom, for those that don't know. This cherry blossom's died, and hence the expression die like cherry blossom. Strangler's song. If anyone wants to learn more about that. Ice. Passing Beer Mill Butchery. Hope that's not what the Galloways are for. There is the old mill, what we can see of it. Open this Sunday as it goes. Although by the time viewers see this, which will be Monday, be too late. Combe Down Hanger on my left as I walk. Hanger being the popular word in Hampshire for a wood on a hillside, hanging on. I'm going to continue straight on because the path looks well trod now. The official route is up left here, where that chap's just gone. Another monk jack over there skulking in the undergrowth. And he's come out now. Doesn't look very healthy. Passing the town mill. can smell the cleanliness of this river. Certainly some big trout in there. Look at them. Yeah, that other fish wasn't a trout, pretty sure of it. Information panel about the town mill and the river test. Now at the silk mill again, well not again, but yeah, possibly, because I seem to recall this place being filmed before. Maybe when I did another walk around Whitchurch, which is where we're now at. So just opposite the village bakery at this circular junction, take the second left up Bell Street, and as you can see the station is half a mile away, but I've got a bit further to go than that. It's in the Bell pub, free house, from a different angle. Old buildings, aren't they? One next door in particular. Right, just before I turn left into Wells Lane, let's just get this blue plaque on the railway bridge mentioned in the text. Very interesting. Now going under the old rail line that we just read about. Now entering Whitchurch Cemetery. Interesting place. Never heard of the man myself, but there is the grave of Richard George Adams, writer and poet, who died nearly a decade ago. God rest his soul. Passing the gazebo. Tell you what, it's so glorious this afternoon. I expected to catch sight of a house martin or two. It is mid-April, but maybe they know something we don't, and this little warm patch is due to end shortly, which it is. Cuckoo likewise, any time now. Passing under the A34, Whitchurch's bypass. That is an extremely high and dangerous stile, which is probably why people are coming through the gate instead. I didn't realise it was open. Thinking about it, if my memory serves, isn't it the A34 which was what all the Watership Down disturbance was about all those years back? Correct me if I'm wrong, can't remember. But those hills over there made me wonder. Hence the lunchtime pub stop, Watership Down Inn. So we've been on the Test and Derver Way. Haven't previously heard of that one. Further memories of that old railway line. As I always say, such a shame. They would have been great preserved. The old river is certainly fast flowing. Glorious. Yeah, plenty of trout in here again. Tufton Church, which I won't go into. St Mary's Tufton. Solitary yew outside. Yeah, as we enter Whitchurch, actually, I'm not leaving it, on the other side of the post. Now entering a millennium breeding space, apparently. Passing Fulling Mill. Amazing how those willows have split and come down. Fast flowing Test again. A glimpse of All Hallows Church there, which I'm not going to visit. From a bit of a different angle. And a better one still. Particularly with the daffs in it. What's left of them. So here we are, back at Whitchurch. So I made that 11.29 miles, 4 hours 14, and a very good walk that was indeed. Aided and abetted by some wonderful weather. We've got a proper station here as well. But that walk, yeah, very good. Couldn't really imagine any problems with that in the winter either. Wasn't particularly muddy underfoot. Well, obviously not today because it was bone dry. But yeah, should be okay any time of the year. That's a very good walk. And as I said, any time now we're going to hear cuckoos and see house martins. I'm not envisaging many swallows this summer, unfortunately. There's nowhere for them to nest. It's a sad tale, but true. And swifts likewise. So it's Freefolk 53 completed. SWC Walk 53 completed. Till the next time.